It's Sunday. You know what that means? It's another episode of Unturned Pages. Alicia's here, and I guess Derek is joining us tonight as
I just
the co-host.
Sunday fun day.
Sunday fun day. How are you, Alicia and Derek?
I'm doing good now. I am doing much better.
Yeah, we're
that's
doing good. These long weekends, I'm telling you.
Right?
I'm working overtime and everything else.
Right. Well, let's do our little intro stuff here. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to scoot through some of this. Talk about your new location so people can contact you to book a overnight.
Good.
Oh, well, this is Sanctum of Souls, and it's out in Buffalo, Iowa. Probably about 10 minutes from Davenport, 20 minutes from the Metro Quad Cities. Everybody out there, you're familiar with, the Quad Cities and some of the events that are held there. So it's not too far from there. This place is a German Lutheran church built in 1869. Still doing a lot of research, but we are definitely getting a lot of information. We want to give a thanks to Pam. She's been doing a really good job with helping us, and also Nick. Nick Simons has been investigating a couple of different times with us now, just kind of seeing what's there, kind of validating some of the history. And I'm telling you what, this place has a lot of, I think, intelligent spirits there. They told me to be quiet last night when I was investigating. Clear as day, you hear it. Derek, be quiet. And
I think I told you to shut up. It just didn't say, Derek, shut up.
Right. And I mean, I could go on and on. The many times that we've been there, we've just caught in some pretty incredible things. So, come on out, make a stay. It'll be a good time.
So what is the cost for a overnight, hours, that type of stuff?
Weekdays, Monday through Thursday. It's available from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. for $150. $75 deposit to secure the date. $75 upon arrival. Friday through Sunday is $300 from 6 p.m. to 10 a.m. and $100 deposit to book, and the remainder due at the door.
You heard it, you guys. Get there, check it out. I've yet to be there. I'm coming, hopefully, maybe in December. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we'll get there.
It's a pretty cool location. At this location, I'm telling you, like, just a couple seconds here, it's been kind of vacant for the last 6 months. Prior to that, it was obviously, a full functioning church, and things happen, and they just had to close the doors after 100 years. And, no one would think that a church would be haunted, but the owner, when he first stepped foot in there, he had some weird things happening, and he really is not like a big paranormal or ghost hunting person or anything of that sort. And he called us out, and then that's just where this all started, and I'm like, you got some stuff going on here, and a lot of people would really love to come check this out, because it's not just, it's about reserving, what is there, the building. Like, you don't want nothing to happen to these structures. These are 1800, buildings, and to keep them up and going, you know what I mean? That's what it's all about with all these locations, that people, they go in and they try to just do what they can to preserve, what's left.
Right. Everyone go check it out. They have heat during the winter months, so this really
air conditioning, bathrooms, electricity.
Yeah. So go and check it out. Hang out with Alicia and Derek and Tom. The group is amazing. Thank you to our sponsors, Small Town Productions, Larry Eisler III, Creepy Crates, Reaper Paranormal, Paraware, and Breaking Fate / Mr. Riley's Dark Arts and Oddities. So please go out and support our sponsors here. They are amazing. Speaking of Mr. Riley's Dark Arts and Oddities, event is coming up November 15th. So please come out to DeKalb, Illinois, the 15th and 16th and check it out. I will be there doing aura photos and workshops. And then he has a new store opening next month in less than 3 weeks on the 18th in DeKalb with metaphysical, dark arts and oddities, and a great amount other items included. I got to see it last weekend, and it is amazing. Store in DeKalb, Illinois. It's about an hour from Broadhead, so that gives you a little figuration where it's located. And it's about a couple hours from Chicago. So our guests tonight are Brie and Nick. Brie is a psychic medium, paranormal investigator. Nick is a paranormal author and paranormal investigator. So let's bring them on here. Hello.
Hi, guys.
What's up?
Hey.
Hey. I just saw you guys last month. It feels like it's been forever, though.
Is that all
Everybody tuning in, don't forget, it's Brie's birthday today.
Yes. It's Bree's
happy
birthday. In the chat.
Thank you.
Well, happy birthday song will be played later. Everybody join in, sing along if you're listening. We're gonna do it.
I will not be singing live on the show, but okay. Brie already knows I wished her happy birthday like 3 times, so she's good.
That's funny.
But welcome, you guys. How are you?
Good. Tired, but good.
I love how Nick looked at Brie for that answer.
He's like, "How are we?"
How are we?
That's how we communicate. We do a lot of looking at each other, and then one of us speaks.
I'm just here. Let's just say that.
You're here. You're good. Yep. Let's see how long it takes for Brie not to take her glasses off tonight. Because if you watch her TikToks on every Wednesday, you know if she gets serious, she will take her glasses off.
I'm curious. So, I mean, I'm super proud of Brie of what she's accomplished here, especially of late. She's went through a lot of bullshit here in the paranormal, and she's found herself again, and she has
definitely found herself.
She's put her 2 feet in the ground, and she's standing firm, and she's telling people. But I'm awful reminded, like I was like, I'm gonna bust your balls a little bit, Jenny. Is that all you could say about me as an author and investigator?
You're an amazing dude.
I've done a lot of stuff in this paranormal. That's all you can come up with.
You stood up for a lot of people in the paranormal. That's for sure.
Well, I mean,
you're a location host or a location owner.
Twice.
Yes.
People forget that, but that's okay.
The other one we really don't talk about.
I can't wait till November's done.
So you can really talk about it?
So that place no longer exists, and I don't have to fucking hear it anymore. I'm just being honest. So, but
if you know Nick, you know what location he's talking about. But we're not going to.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Bell Mansion. I'm not shy about that. I'm not shy about that at all. I'm talking about the But I'm telling you, we were talking before we got on air, and I am extremely intrigued about Sanctums of Souls because I love churches, and I am a firm believer. And I will tell you this: at the Bell Mansion, there's a massive church across the street. And
there is a massive church.
We'd always talk to our spirits about that church, and we would ask them where the D word is, and the spirits would always say church.
Really?
Oh, interesting.
And you really think about it. Gathering places for us living people are still gathering places for the people in the afterlife.
Yep.
The one that decide to stay in this realm or dimension, and that's why I think a lot. I mean, I've always been fascinated with religions. I think they're all a bunch of BS religions because they're man-made. But I've always been fascinated by them. I've always been fascinated by churches, and that is a goal of mine to eventually, for us to own a church. And so I'm slightly over here steaming in my boots because you guys have the opportunity to run a church.
It's just so
I'm extremely jealous. All right. I'm extremely jealous.
I just, you try to do new things, right? Because like you don't always this is the first time I've ever investigated a church. So I'm like, what new things can we come up with? Right. So last night I started playing Christian music, even though it's a Lutheran, they still sing about God. And I'm like, all right, guys, let's get the fellowship going. I'm like, let's get it pumped. You got the tripwires, never ever went off. And I was like, if I turn on some music, you can see it in the video that I did, but boom, one of the tripwires. Okay, let's get it going. And then I used a woman's name that we have documented history on, an obituary.
Edith Mack.
She was affiliated with the church. She was a Sunday school teacher. She helped with the daycare. There's everything about this woman. And I called her out and I was like, Edith Mack, right at the end of the song. And boom, right as soon as I said Mac, the whole freaking tripwire went off. It was really incredible, dude. It was so cool.
Well, you guys have how do I want to say this? You guys have the best and the unique opportunity, because you were contacted by somebody that owns something, and you are the first to go in. You are the first to make contact. You are the first to dive into the history, not only the location, which the location, history location plays a huge part of it, but the individuals that you uncover in that process. You are unraveling history itself with those people, and I think we do lose sight of that as paranormal investigators, and in that opportunity that we focus so much on the history of the land and the property, but the history of the individuals that work there and were there all the time is just as important as the other aspect of it. So getting that opportunity to unravel that, and that itself is a very self-gratifying accomplishment, because you could say, I literally found this lady, and you can start talking about her, and she's like, she worked the Sunday school, and then she did this, then you dive in more, and she was married to so and so, then they had X amount of kids, and then to the point, if you get it that far, then you almost can find that living relative somewhere, and you make that personal connection, and it's fascinating.
I was telling her yesterday when we were going through this stuff, and she just kept finding, all these things, and something just popped up, and I'm like, holy cow. And like, we're reading through all of these obituaries and like these people. I'm like, I know more about the deceased than, you know what I mean? I just it's not like, I'm trying not to make a joke about it, but it's like, it's almost like we know them, but we don't know them.
And it was crazy because I one last thing. I found a Jane Gronowski or something.
Yeah, she was,
and
she was a traveling pastor. And
on the front of the church, on the thing that says stuff, you can put the letters in it or whatever. It says celebrating 100 years, and then her name on that, and it completely went over our heads. Like, Derek's like, that's the name on the thing out front. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, because we got the history from the museum. And yesterday I was running my Polter script when Tracy, Tom, and I and Scott were down there. And I'm telling you what, the Polter script said Jane. Wow. And I'm like, yeah, it was wild. And then I didn't even put two and two together until like I was thinking about it later on that night. I'm like, wait a minute. There's something going on here.
You got this shitty eating grin on her face, and I looked.
Yeah, you got a grin on Bree's face.
She's tapping in. So
I remote view.
Oh.
But I want to tell you first. So a lot of people don't know about me is I was a pastor's wife. I was a youth pastor. You need to understand the denomination that you're dealing with. It was a Lutheran church. Lutheran is a step below Catholicism. So there were still rites and rituals as people were going through certain age development. So you're going to want to look into that. You really want to piss the congregation off, sing specific hymnals. In fact, go in there and start playing some DC Talk, play some NF, Christian rap music from today. you're going to get activity.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You've got to mimic.
How far is this place away?
You've got to mimic.
Buffalo.
You've got somebody that's actually mimicking a person that you think you have. Just so you know, you've got a spirit that wants to talk, but they're mimicking somebody else. And there's somebody with. So, is it okay if I say something? You guys?
You cut out a little. I'm sorry, you cut out.
Is it okay if I say something about you, Alicia and Derek?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
You're having audio issues? Did you realize that?
No.
You have somebody with you playing with your stuff. And what's funny is right before it cut out, I actually had written down on a piece of paper, Alicia's going to have audio issues. While you guys were talking about Sanctum of Souls, I wrote it down and I slid it across the desk.
That's weird. I started getting chilies.
Yeah, so you stop playing with the nips. You're
going to start something there.
So I have to ask, are you guys making sure when you leave that you're cleansed? Like that you're like not just saying you can't come home, because in all honesty, spirits laugh at that. They think it's one of the biggest jokes ever.
Right.
No,
kind of like
I've been doing cleansing with white sage. It's been a minute, so I've just done it yesterday, the day before, and I always have the window open, but
sage is just
nothing.
I don't never cleanse myself after investigations.
Yeah, because you
I don't think about it.
You've got somebody that comes back and forth with you guys. So just so you're aware.
You know what's weird is yesterday,
Okay.
I'm not saying this is a coincidence, but I was in bed and I had my banner leaning against the wall and it was leaning this way and it just went and it fell over. I'm like, I didn't think anything about it. I just kind of laugh it off because I'm like, okay, you know, that's the most you'll do, then whatever. I'll just let it go. I just kind of chuckled because I don't.
They'll do stupid things like that to make their presence known for acknowledgement.
Yeah,
and
I thought it was weird.
Yeah, it's you'll get knocks, you'll get taps, you'll get paper moving off the desk, you'll get like something odd will happen with your phone. Like a message will get read or a weird message will send.
Should we tell them what happened last night?
Now I need to know.
Now we need to know.
So
we're at the State House last night. Brie, myself, and her second youngest, John, and we are upstairs in the blue room, and we have a resident spirit in that blue room that shows himself quite often on the SLS camera, but he is a very shy individual. Well, last night he decided to present himself more to Brie.
Yeah.
And so we was like, okay, and his name is Thomas.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, Thomas, we're gonna go down the basement first, but we're definitely gonna come back up to you. You're opening up. We want to know more about your story and this or that. And so we come back up to the blue room, and we were TikTok live last night, and so we have both rigs. John was standing behind Bree's, I was behind mine, and Bree was sitting in the chair. And we're going through these things, and we're unfolding a lot of stuff about Thomas, and he doesn't understand the equipment and the lights and stuff like that. So we're trying to get him to understand this is a way to communicate, and then how I'll pretty much tell him, said, look, you have to match our frequency, you have to match our realm. I don't know what you're seeing. I know you're here. We can communicate, but I don't know where you're at. So you need to come to ours, so you can manipulate the energy in our realm and so we can communicate better. And he's like, I'm trying. And then
I actually have to go on a TikTok and clip it because John is like, Nick, what's going on with Bree's phone? And I'm thinking I'm getting validated. Like he's got to do the puzzle piece. He doesn't know how to do this.
We never got that last night.
We never got that. No, neither of us did.
Oh,
so,
wow.
We're thinking it's that. And then Nick standing there, he walks behind and he's got this perplexed look on his face. And because I have a lot of haters out there that like to report me for stupid shit that I'm not doing. I'm like, did I get reported? And they're like, well, no. And at this point, I'm like, what the hell's going on in my life? So I get up, I walk over, and the screen has gone to multi. It's now invited 10 people that are watching live to go live. Now, I was watching John out of the corner of my eye. He never touched my phone. He was actually leaning back against the table and the wall away from the rig.
Wow.
With his hands, like you could see where his hands were. His hands were nowhere near the rig. So, you know, spirits will definitely manipulate our electronics.
And
definitely.
And Thomas was like,
he was laughing.
He was like belly laughing. He was like, I didn't know I could do that.
He was like, did I do that? I didn't know I could do that. And he's just laughing.
And people in our chat are like, oh my God, no, I don't want to go live. Or like, okay, we understand that. Like, give us a second to clear this out.
And we've never done that before when we're live, so we have no clue how to fucking clear it out. Sorry for you. I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss.
You are.
I'm sure everybody in the paranormal community knows what
cusses.
Our favorite words is the F word.
Well, I mean, it's my Wednesday live, and I'm deciding to say fuck after every other word I say.
They have a very well-known and sponsored podcast. They can bleep it out.
Yeah.
So I could really be like, fuck, fuckity fuck.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Beep, beep, beep. Nick, it is 5.5 hours from you. Their location is about 5.5 hours without stops.
That's like 30-minute drive.
Got a question.
Yeah, I was gonna say for Nick it's about 30 minutes or hour drive.
I'm surprised I'm not in the truck already. I'm just saying.
That's funny.
Yeah,
so
we really have a deep love for churches. Churches are definitely fascinating locations, and there seems to be a huge population that are very timid when they go into churches. They don't know what they should or should not do, you know, and it's like, okay, that's cool. You want to be respectful, but you have to understand when a church leaves the premise, they actually do a ceremony that unsanctifies the ground. It basically releases it from the protection of the Holy Spirit. When they go to build a church, they will do a blessing on the ground, which will then, in essence, bring the Holy Spirit into the ground, into the foundation of the church that they're building or the holy site. And before they release it up for auction, up for sale, they will go in. Typically, they remove any and all holy relics. Those are typically not allowed to be left behind. So I like, even with the picture that was shown with the altar and like the picture of Jesus, like, I don't know if that's something the owner brought in. If that was left behind, I'm really surprised about that.
Everything.
And, but they typically like will take everything. They're actually supposed to take everything out because it's then considered unsanctified, unholy. So you don't want to leave your holy relics in an area that is now deemed unholy, unfit. It is, you know, these crosses, these Bibles, the hymnals are too holy. They're too sacred to just be left on unholy ground where anybody could do whatever they wanted to defile something that is belonging and coming from Christ.
We need to be careful then, because that thing in the center, I don't know what it's called, but it's still got holy water in it.
You're going to want
like a bowl.
You're going to want, okay, so it's a bowl. So that is part, even though it's Lutheran, that is part of Catholicism. That is one of their tie-ins with Catholicism. That is where when you go into a Catholic church, you dip your finger in, you do your cross, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. You bless yourself before you walk in because you're unclean when you walk into the sanctuary. So you were doing a quick cleansing as much as we would with sage.
This is like our peanut butter and jelly shit, man.
Like, you guys need help, you let us
like
know.
Like religion and paranormal, like this is our jam. Like
we need to get you guys out here because I want to see what you pick up on.
I mean, I'm already kind of seeing some stuff down a hallway. Like, there's somebody that likes to stalk down a hallway and peek through doors.
Hey, let me tell you something, and I can prove this to you. I'm going to show you a video later on my purpose script.
Let me tell you something.
This is incredible because this validates your gift. This validates your gift, and you never seen anything. You didn't see this video, so this validates what you just told me. You said the word stalk. We got stalk last night on Polterscript. It said stalk, and we always see shadows coming down the hall.
That's what I told them when we were back to Green.
Yeah, and it was wild because I got it stalk. It said stalk on my Polterscript last night in the church. Yeah.
You're getting.
I'm gonna be like,
also, with your shadows, though, you have to understand that, and this is where you got to think that there's actually a theory, and I think this might be stone taped theory, where we leave residual energy behind. It's no different than being in our home. We get up at 5:30. We get up. We take a piss. We wash our hands. We brush our teeth. We go to the kitchen. We get the coffee pot running. We feed the animals. We go back downstairs. Make sure our spouse is awake. Go back up. Pour a cup of coffee. Come back downstairs. We are leaving.
She's telling you her
energy.
routine. She's telling you.
Yeah, this is
The part where she's like, "I gonna wake my spouse up." Like, get the fuck out of bed. That's what she's talking about.
That's
what we do.
Funny.
It's what I have to do. But we're leaving. I mean, you got to think. We know we leave DNA behind, right? We leave fingerprints. We leave hair follicles. You know, our sweat, our spit. We leave that behind wherever we're at. And it's the same, I fully believe, with our energy. Not only can we leave fingerprints behind, you got to think we're leaving an energy print behind wherever we go. I fully believe that when we go to haunted locations and spirits are calling out for us, there's so many different ways you can look into that. Is it us calling back out for ourselves because we were there and we're like, hey, we're here, we're meeting back up? Or, you know, is it the spirit acknowledging our presence when we're not there? And that's when you have people reaching out to you going like, hey, the spirits were calling for you. Is it really a part of us that we've left behind that's like interacting with the spirits that are there? You know, there's so many different ways to look into it, but I believe what I'm seeing, a lot of your shadows, it's going to be like, if you were to put a time-lapse camera in there that could catch the shadows on camera, I fully believe that you're going to notice specific timestamps to where it is, you know, 7:00 on the dot. This shadow is walking down the hall, makes a left into the office. 5:30 on the dot, another shadow enters into a different door on the right. You know, you're going to start noticing certain times, and it's not in honesty, it's not interactive, it's not intelligent energy. You're watching energy imprints that have been left in time.
The office is to the left, just so you know.
What Patience says she has a question.
What did Patience want to know? Patience has a question.
Yeah, she didn't ask it yet.
Typical Patience.
That's typical. Yep. So, what got you guys started in the paranormal field? Did you have an experience? Nick, I know you grew up in the state house and you had some experiences. But Brie, what got you into the paranormal?
Me or her?
Okay, she said me. So I'll stop you right there. Just so you know, once you read his book that you said you're going to read on the plane, you're going to know that the state house is not what got him into the paranormal.
No.
That's not, the state house didn't do anything. In all honesty, it had no hand. But once you read the book, you're going to find out it's actually the house that we live in now that got him involved in the paranormal. So a lot of people, but there's nothing wrong with that, because a lot of people automatically think, oh, so here, this got you in the paranormal, when it wasn't. It's actually the house that we're in now. Nick did grow up with a lot of paranormal activity and experienced it. I mean, hell, when he would stay with his dad, that house was actually a funeral parlor. So he saw a lot. But the state house didn't have anything. For me, At the age of 6, I woke up one night and I rolled over. I grew up in a 1-bedroom house that was actually utilized on the Underground Railroad. We found out when I got older.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I rolled over and saw what I thought was my mom sitting on the twin bed that was bumped up to mine. So I had the upstairs bedroom. My twin brothers were down in the living room, and my parents actually had the dining room. And I saw what I thought was my mom sitting with her back to me. It made no sense. She was staring at a wall with like a white dresser, and I'm getting ready to ask her, like, Mom, why are you sitting there? And she starts to turn her head. And as she's turning her head, the light that's shining in from the bathroom closet, I realize it's shining through her face, and I can see the 1970s dresser behind her. I roll over and I pull the blanket up over my head and I go back to sleep. The next morning, I tell my mom about it, and we are able to, she explains to me that wasn't me. I mean, it looked like her to the T, to the flannel nightgown, the way her hair was up in an 8-bun. I mean, it was my mom. It was not my mom, and it was actually my great grandmother who had no tie to the location. The last time I saw her was when I was 1.5 years. I was at her funeral, so she knew me as a baby. So we fully believe my great grandmother was just there checking on me, kind of like, stopping in. And from that point forward, I've always seen, heard, felt, but I fully believe that when you go through, a lot of people will say trauma will open you to your gifts. I fully believe that trauma can also close it off, because the brain is a miraculous organ when it comes to protecting itself, when it comes to healing. That's why you have people that go through comas or different types of head trauma, and they've got injuries, like the injuries that they sustained, they have memory lapses. It's because the brain is trying to heal itself. And so there's parts that the brain, as it's healing, like even people who have been assaulted or gone through home invasions, they struggle to remember, even though they are face to face. They can tell you the color. They should hypothetically be able to tell you what the person's face looked like in detail. They're just like white male, maybe brown hair. And it's because the brain is automatically trying to protect that person because they're in a state of shock. I went through a lot of traumatic things throughout my life. My brain kind of started shutting that stuff up. I would still see and hear, but I wasn't putting 2 and 2 together. My mom was who helped me. Now, my mom's been gone 20 years this August, and I went through my 3rd divorce in 23, and my boys actually sat me down, and they were like, Mom, you've been married 3 times. You're a mom to 3. You have given everything that you have to everybody you've ever been with, family, friends. You've been a stepmother to 5 other children. Like, you need to figure you out. Like, you need to love yourself. You need to find yourself again. And they were like, we've always lived somewhere haunted. Mom, we know that you're gifted. I mean, I raised the boys watching, Haunted Collector, Paranormal State, like the OG shows,
Yep.
So they were like, why don't you start doing paranormal stuff? So I started doing stuff. I actually got invited down to an event in North Carolina. And on the way down, I stopped at a road stop, and I heard plain as day I needed to document my road trip. Basically, I was told to make it epic. And so I did. And I posted everything to X. It blew up. I had no intention of it. I was really hesitant to put anything on Facebook because of my daughter's father and the contentious relationship there. But I finally sucked it up and I started posting it, and I had no intention to become anything from it. It was just me sharing my experience and how I was loving me and finding me. And I started supporting people. Find you, do you, be you. And I was gifted the hashtag by a company that we shall never name.
No.
And be like Brie took Storm. And it's the whole platform of pursue you, pursue what makes you happy. Like, I don't care if you collect baseball cards. I don't care if, you're ice skating. I don't care what you're doing. Pursue you, find you, because you've only got this one time around the sun in this meat suit. You've only got this one shot. Tomorrow, as we have been horrifically reminded almost 2.5 weeks ago now, tomorrow's not promised.
Right.
Stop making the excuses. You know, the bills are always going to be there. You're never going to be financially prepared for anything in life, especially with the way inflation is going. Do what makes you happy. Make you happy. And, you know, my gifts started opening wide back up, and I went through this massive awakening the winter of 2024. I actually was on.
It was so much fun.
I spent many days bawling my eyes out. And he's like, "This is above my pay grade." But, you know, coming to terms and understanding that, seeing things and hearing things, because I've got all the clairs. Being a psychic medium, I'm able to see past. I got linear timeline. I can see past, present, future. So, you know, and it's like, coming from a Christian faith background, having been a pastor's wife, having been a youth pastor, you know, you have blinders that have been put on you by man. They're man-made. And so it's like you're dismantling that and coming to terms. And
100%.
You know, so that's, you know, now it's like I've come to terms with who I am. And my readings, they 99% of the time, I can never guarantee who comes through or what comes through, but my readings always seem to center on things that somebody has gone through, are going through, or yet to go through, and how to help them overcome, how to help them move forward, move on. And that's when the loved ones, the friends and the family members, the spirit guides show themselves to me, and I'm able to help people with the healing process, with accepting, you know, who they are and how to love themselves. And, you know, it's been an absolute blessing. I fully believe that my gift is divine, because there's things I know that I shouldn't know. You know, being able to remote view, as you guys are hearing right now, you know, Sanctum of Souls, I shouldn't be able to know anything about this building, but I feel I'm shown things so that way I can help, you know. And that's one thing I always try to tell people when they're looking for somebody to get a reading from. You know, don't just run to the first person that you see that can operate tarot cards or read palms. Do your due diligence, really look into them, have a conversation with them, find out where their heart is, talk to other people. Where is their heart in the situation? Do they really just want to help you, or are they trying to fatten their bank account?
Right.
You know, that's the important thing. You know, I offer my services fairly cheap because I want to help. I never want to cause harm to anybody, especially financially. That is not my goal. My goal is to make you, you know, I want to help you love you. I want to help you love your family, love your friends. I want to help you heal.
That's good stuff. I love that. I love that for you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm glad that you're getting me, and shoot, I almost want to do a session now. So, great stage. We'll be back in 20.
Well, and see, the thing is that, like, I refuse to also put spirit in a box. A lot of people be like, oh, you get 20 minutes and it's $50. You get, now I'm not knocking anybody. Everybody prices how they feel they're supposed to. I was actually told what to do my prices for right now. And, you know, and that's what I've done. I've priced what spirit told me I should have my price set at. And because I don't put spirit in a box, my sessions can take anywhere from 1 hour to 2 hours, because this is focused on you and what you need, you know, not I have people coming to me and, like, I won't even ask if they have questions. I automatically tell them what I'm able to do, and I'll start talking. Like, and what I do too, like, there's things I do to help the person even after we're done. I always make myself readily available. You know, you can always text me, you can call me. I might not always be available to respond right away, but as soon as I can, I will, because I want to make sure that you have all the resources that you need on your healing journey.
And I can attest, Brie will help you. Brie will help you. I haven't had a reading with her yet, but she's been there through the shitty parts of my stuff that I've been through, and Nick's been through it with me too. So I can always reach out to those two. Like, absolutely. She's always a message away, text away, a phone call away. So is Nick. Patience asked the question. Hold on, let me find it again. She said, when you review, what do you focus on to get that area?
There's a lot of times I'm not even focusing, like you're talking about the church, and I can never help what spirit shows me. I will never read you on purpose, but if like say like I'm sitting here like I said, I kind of see somebody, that's why I ask permission. You know, is it okay if I say something? I saw that you have somebody that goes back and forth. I don't want to just say that because that's considered a dry read, and that's a big no-no. I've come to learn in the community. You don't want to force information on somebody that they might not be ready to receive. So I always ask permission. Is it okay if I say something? Is it okay if I ask a question? When people are talking about locations, I'll start getting flash imagery in my head. I'll start seeing things that are long gone or even happening right now or might happen in the future. I can't control what I see. There's been many locations, and Nick can attest to this, where I'll be standing there. I've never been to the location. It's the first time I'm really hearing anything about it. And I will start asking his, like, okay, do you have a creek here? Like Cabin on 360, I knew nothing about. We met Dennis in January. We're standing there talking, and I was like, and he was like, are you getting anything? We'll come to find out Dennis is gifted too. So he was curious. He's like, are you getting anything? And I was like, yeah. And I started describing stuff to him, and come to find out I was describing the back part of the property where certain things concerning Silver War incidents. I'm not going to go into it. Certain
okay, I was going to say,
I still haven't been there. I've never been there. To this day, I still have not been there. We haven't had a chance to get out there. And he actually took a business card, and on the business card, he goes, I don't want to give you too much. He goes, this is just based off what you are telling me. This is and he drew it out on the back of a business card. He goes, this is what you're talking about. This is historically what you just described did happen on this part of the location, on this part of the property. It's like, I'm not trying to see. It's shown. If I feel like I'm shown what I'm supposed to see. Now, if you are doing a reading with me and you're like, or like you're asking, like Nick and I, you bring us in for help on an investigation, and you're like, hey, can you take a look at this for us? Like, is Brie able to look in? Is she able to see anything? I don't need pictures. I will mentally, like, I will ask permission. And sometimes it's not, I don't even get that far because it's like already, it's like a photo album, like being flipped through my mind with pictures, images, dates, times, information. It's like this huge information download. So remote viewing is something that I absolutely love that I'm able to do. It makes me feel like I'm 5 again, like a kid at Christmas, because I don't know what I'm talking about. And then every time I've done it, though, and like Nick can attest to this, people are like, you just fucking nailed it. Like, are you sure you've never heard about this location before? Like, yeah, I have no clue what you're talking about.
See, I can somewhat do that, but I have to be asleep. I get my stuff during my sleep. Like, I can, when I'm sleeping and I have like an investigation coming up or something, like, I can see the location. I can sometimes communicate with the spirits through my sleep. I don't know. Wow. And then when I get there, it feels like I already saw it, and it happens during the investigation, and that's how sometimes I do mine. But
now, do you journal when you wake up? What you have experienced? Because I'm going to tell you is going to be a huge benefit to you, Jenny. You journal it as soon as you can. You journal, you date, and you timestamp. So that way, when you go into the location and you've got people with you and it's happening and you're saying, oh my God, and they go, you're full of shit. You go, here. You now have credence, and they can kiss your fucking ass.
Okay. I will start doing that.
I like that. That's all.
Nick taught me that one, okay? Because I was bad at it myself. And he's like, did you write it down? But I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. Did you write it down? Like, I believe you, but if you need to tell somebody else this, just because I believe you, that's not enough. Like, if you have this written down, then you've got credence because you've dated, you've time-stamped it, and now you can pull this journal out and you can say, explain this.
Right.
So that's my biggest suggestion to you, Jenny. So that way you can also compare any differences that happen, because you can have changes between your dreams and going somewhere.
Yep. Absolutely. So Nick,
So
let's
what's
dive
about
in.
me? I need to know about me. I'm sorry.
Tag, you're it.
Nick, let's get you talking. Tell
What's
us
up?
about your book that you wrote. This amazing book that I have yet to read.
So, my journey in the paranormal, I have got a lot of beautiful opportunities. I've had a lot of highs and a lot of extreme lows. And I see that throughout our community. And the book is it a memoir? Yes, it is. But it's more than that. It is something that somebody that is new in the paranormal, a new team, read this book and understand it, because these are some of the things that you're going to go through. And this is a life lesson for you because you can outcome those things. You know, when coming from my background as a kid to adulthood, things I went through, and then finally, seeing and experiencing the paranormal my whole life, but still not wanting to anything to do with it until a specific thing started happening in our house to me and my children, and then getting the experience of peace when somebody was able to help me, and then having the opportunity to start Old World Paranormal Society. Had an amazing team for a long time. We had well over 50 successful residential cases. That was our bread and butter. We just wanted to help. Then didn't get any opportunity to come out to these pay to play places, and like, there's a lot of places out here in the country that are really cool. And then getting the opportunity to kind of like what Derek and Alicia are going through, a brand new property, untouched. That was me with the Bell Mansion, and then getting that opportunity and creating that environment and creating that business to making it one of the most, from unknown to one of the most successful locations in under a year. And going through that, I mean, and then having that ripped away from you, then what do you do after that? And that's what the book's about. Yes, it's a memoir, but I want you to take the book and understand that, hey, this includes deaths, family deaths on my team. Um, come going through that to rifts with family, to friends, and it just shows you that you can come through that and press forward. After my time at the Bell, I could have put my head down, tuck my tail, and be like, tell my story to the world, how I got so railroaded. I chose the latter. I chose to just end it completely, not talk about it, and just I hit the road. And I hit the road to as many conventions as I could, majority of them by myself, representing myself, not only myself but my team, and just saying, look, that's not the end of me. That was just something that I was supposed to go through and experience, and I did, and I gained a lot from that, and I learned a lot from it, and I'm thankful for it. And just plowing forward, there's so much more to do. There's so much more to learn. And without all these opportunities and the highs and the lows that I went through the last decade, I would not be where I'm at today, and have the opportunity to speak on so many different things, not only real life situation, personal stuff, but also understanding what your spiritual side, and understanding spirits, and understanding what you truly are communicating with. Without all these highs and lows, I would not have the opportunity. I would not understand that. I would still be stuck in that human aspect of realization of those things. So that to me, that's what the book represents. I mean, of course, a lot of people are going to see my name's on it and it's all about me and the blah blah blah. But to me, that's really what it's not about.
Right. Is there a second book coming from you soon, or is this gonna be?
There's a couple in the works. We've been so busy with a lot of different things. I think this winter, after Mysteries of the Fort, I'm going to buckle down. I have 2 in the works. There will be a part 2 to A Paranormal Legacy and the Ugly Truth. There definitely will be a part 2. That's probably the third in the works. One is a residential case that I was involved with, and I don't want to say too much about it. There's just so many different aspects of this thing. Like, it has to be written. It has to be read. Like, you're gonna read it and you're like, he's lying. He's lying that all this shit happened. Like, no, this stuff really did happen, and this needs to come to light. And then the other one I want to write is about doing residential cases, but I don't want to do a how-to book. I want it to read like a book, but also give that how-to message across from it. It's not that I'm going to tell you how to do it. That's not the case. I want to tell you that you are the first step. You are the first step to answers or salvation for these people. But it's going to take a team. It's going to take an army. It's going to take networking. And that's where these conventions and meeting people and everything, that's where it comes to play. That's what we're about. Take those opportunities to network. Find somebody that is better than you in certain niches, because their abilities will come into play and they'll be able to help somebody that, you can't. I mean, the first thing I always say, if I get a phone call and we get a case, if I can solve it without even bringing a piece of equipment out to investigate, then I win. I feel good about it. Because I have so much of understanding, because 90% of your hauntings in people's homes has to do with the living people. There's a reason for it. Whether it's good or a bad haunting, it has to do with the living. So you have to get to that uncomfortable conversation with the living people and understand it. And then you're going to know in those interviews, you're going to they're still hiding something. You have to dig deeper, and you have to push, and you have to push, and you have to understand there's a reason. Because you solve this, it'll connect the dot. Odds are the haunting part to get rid of it's the easy part.
Right.
Now, not to say that there's not some that are really difficult, or you couldn't have a demonic case. Yes, demonic cases are real, but you're talking about a 0.5 chance that it's going to be something like that. So you have 99.5% chance of a plethora of different things. So that's one of the books, and then obviously eventually we'll do a part 2 to a paranormal legacy and ugly truth. But I never thought I would be an author. I'm not very intelligent in that. I could speak and I can tell you a lot of things, but to put it on there, I'm gonna tell you right now, the magic when you read that book and you're like, man, this is really easy reading and it's flowing, and I read it in one sitting, and that's because of her. That's great because of her. So it's not. I'm not a New York best time seller. I think we sold 150 copies, but hopefully it changed one person's life.
They must be having some activity in the house or something.
No, it's Cardinal neighbors. He thinks it's paranormal. I'm more on the
whatever.
thinking side.
It was right behind me.
It could be this. It could be that. Let's be logical, and if it's not logical, then okay, we'll go from there.
Investigation
time, right? Talk about the State House and the history of it, and some of the paranormal experiences that you've seen and had in the house.
Well, I mean, the State House is another unique opportunity. It was never in the books. It was never in the works. It was never a thought process. My stepdad ended up succumbing to cancer, and my mom took a very long time, and she's still struggling with it. I mean, she lost her spouse at 30 some years. And, mom decided she was done with the house after we having it since 1987. And I'm like, okay, mom, which, me and my sister have been telling my mom to sell the house and get rid of it for years. It was too much upkeep and stuff like that. So we moved mom out, and the house was sitting empty. We were going to sell it. And us paranormal investigators, you got an empty house. Regardless, you're like, let's go fucking investigate it, man. And we did. And, I'm sitting there that night, and I had a very easy night. I kind of like sat and ate popcorn. I had Brie there. And then I had my sister. My sister works more on the shamanic level. And then my daughter's there, and she's a very good medium in her own right. And she does things completely different than the other two. So I just sat there, and we had such a crazy night. And then I called mom, and I'm like, Mom, the house is sitting empty. Do you care if I call some friends around the country to come up and see if we can validate this stuff? And we did, and holy crap. And then I'll be honest with you, it's Christmas time. You gotta understand, medical bills and cancer takes a toll on people mentally, physically, and in the wallet.
Oh, of course.
And my parents literally were completely broke. My mom was completely broke, did not have a dollar to her name. And I'm like, Mom, I said, let's just open it up for a couple months. We can at least put some money in your pocket, and you can have a fantastic Christmas. She was like, okay. But the house was still on the market. We were still going to sell it, and after about a month and a half of that, just people and their experiences, I looked at Brie, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to have this conversation with my mom. My mom wants to sell the house and pull all the equity out so she has some money left to live on. And I'm like, Mom, let's keep the house. And she, kind of looked at me like, why?
Right.
We explain it, and I said, the house can pay for itself. This could be passive income for you. If down the road you still want to take the equity out, take the equity out, but we still own the house, and people around the country can experience something different.
Right.
This is something completely different. And, I'll let Bree talk more on the haunting parts of it, because this is where, for a normal investigator, it would take us X amount of hours to get an answer or two for one or two things.
Mm-hmm.
When you have cheat sheets like this, you're just like, I don't want to fucking do it. Bree, go tell me the answer. I'm being honest, so I'll let Bree talk more about the haunting part of it now and what's really going on at the State House. And like I said, we're excited for it because it's not a fallen down place. It doesn't have the murder shit. It's not an asylum. It doesn't have all the stuff the normal paranormal investigators are like, oh my God, I got to go there. There's a serial killer there, or blah, blah, blah. But you can still have that great, unique, paranormal and personal experience there.
Oh,
so
definitely.
I'll leave it to Bree.
So the State House is amazing in the sense that each floor has its own haunting.
Mm-hmm.
There are two distinct things that I typically don't mention publicly too much, because I want it. When you hear people talk about it, it's automatically assumed negative, and they're not negative. So I give the tours, and I do the tour in such a way that it's unique. And when you start the tour, I'm automatically giving you a paranormal experience. We've had teams come in that had skeptics, doubters, people who had never had a paranormal experience ever. I will do in-person readings even at the State House. And before I start the reading, I give a tour, and I give it the same way that I give it on a regular investigation. And people will have an experience. It's almost guaranteed. Something, they will feel something that they can't explain. Their body will react in a way that they can't explain. And so it changes the tone in the atmosphere from like low level vibration, low level frequency to now like your adrenaline's going a little bit. The frequency has gone up. And because the frequency has gone up, you're now interacting with better frequency, better vibrational, the things that are there. I'll be honest, there's nothing negative at the State House.
No.
There's nothing malevolent there. We actually have spiritual protection over the home. There's nothing there. This is a location where people, if you're first starting in the field, this is the perfect location to go to get your feet wet. You're going to have to work a little bit harder, but there's not stuff that's going to chase you unless you provoke. Our spirits actually do not care for provoking. And we've had teams come in provoking that have actually been chased out because they made it quite uncomfortable. And it's like, it makes you, I think I even mentioned this to Nick one night. I was like, if our spirits are doing that, they're chasing people out because they got provoked, and the teams are owning, like, yeah, we provoked, we had to leave. It makes you wonder about these other locations. Are they maybe not as negative as perceived by the public? Because the spirits there have just been provoked to a certain level where all they are is kind of like, you need to get the hell out of my space. Like, we don't want anybody here now. But it changes the whole level to where people are now open-minded. They're now really thinking and wanting more. They want the tour. They want to understand. They're excited to get the equipment out now because they can't explain. They want to understand what happened. Nick has a lot of his family that is there. A lot of my family that has passed on is now there. I'm trying to figure out what to give and what not to give, because I feel like the State House, it being as special as it is, it's a location you need to come and experience. Yeah.
Like we spent a lot of time in the basement last night. There was a lot of questions of what's going on in the basement and a lot of different characters. So we spent a little bit of time last night, and we've been wanting to dive more into certain things, and we were able to figure some things out last night a little bit more, which is great. Now we're going to keep that to ourselves for now. Right. We if you go to our page or you ever see us talk about stuff, we really do not give a whole lot on what is actually going on there as far as spirits, because we want you to figure it out. We want you to get your story and tell us, because we do take those we do take those to heart.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's definitely, let's put it this way, it is a haunting that you will never be able to solve.
Right.
Like when we have people come in and they're like, we're going to figure this out, it takes everything in me to keep a straight face and not laugh, in all honesty, because I'm like, if you can figure this out in like the 12, the time that you have, because you get home from 6 p.m. till noon the following day. We are generous with the time. You're able to stay there. Do we have beds? No. Will we ever have beds? Hell no. No offense, people are nasty. And on top
I ain't cleaning no damn shit. No.
I ain't cleaning up after your nasty asses.
Take your nasty sheets home with you.
It's more like this too. Because we have very limited furniture in the home, you are able to bring so many different pieces of equipment in that you typically can't use in other locations because you get false positives. SLS cameras. People love them in the State House because we've got these wide open rooms with nothing that can give you a false positive, like a bookshelf or a lampshade or a coat rack. You are literally able to investigate every square inch possible, because even with the furniture in there, it slides. You're able to move it. We ask that you don't. There are pieces in there we ask that you don't touch, but you can legitimately investigate. You can put pieces of equipment out all over every room. You can light that bitch up like the 4th of fucking July if you wanted to. And you can't do that in a lot of places because you've got the antique furniture. You've got the things you're not supposed to touch. We know people touch anyways, let's be honest. But we want to give you this beautiful blank canvas that you can utilize to the best of your ability And what's amazing is that because we give this to people, we have so many regulars now that are coming at like once a month, every other month. You know,
I know I will
like,
be back.
something draws me back. Something draws me back. There's no way you're going to figure this out.
Right.
I will say this though, in final thoughts about the haunting of the State House. You will, if you look the State House up, you're not going to find history. So don't beat your head on a wall against it. And I'm going to be honest, don't even bother. If you want to figure out the haunting of the State House, look into the history of Fort Wayne. The history of Fort Wayne is what is predominant with the haunting of the State House. What's beautiful with the State House, we are able to provide you with a beautiful home that is safe. It's a very safe location. We're in a residential location. We're 5 minutes out from downtown. You are able to see that you don't have to have an ugly history with a location for a haunting. So this will help. Like if you're a team that wants to get into residential cases and you yourself are scratching your head, like how can a house be haunted if it's not the people living in it? Come investigate the State House. You're going to understand more about how homes, locations, businesses, it is possible for them to be haunted without something horrific having been done there.
Right. And just to say, you can investigate the backyard and still get activity because we did. Like, we investigated the backyard of the State House and we had a ton of activity. And I know
That's like the fourth layer.
Yeah. Before we change topics, I have a EVP from the State House, which we can play here. And this was caught in the living room of the State House within like 5 seconds of the recording even being on, which I didn't listen to it until way past after we left. But let's see here. Let me play it.
I'm gonna run out and grab him. What's up here? I'm gonna run out and grab him.
That you hear the male, and then you hear Larry, and Larry was the only male there because Brie and Nick had left way before. But yeah, that was one of the EVPs we caught from the State House, and then we had some other amazing activity in the basement and the main floor and upstairs. So I highly recommend people going out and checking out the State House because it is off the chain amazing. Like Brie said, you won't be able to figure it out. Like I was trying to tap in and I'm like, I can't figure this out. There's a whole like multiple layers to this location.
How much is it to book the State House, Nick and Brie?
So if you go to book the State House, you're going to deal with me.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Okay. May the odds ever in your favor. No, hopefully I'm not throwing my glasses that day. No, so Sunday through Thursday night is $100 up to 5 people. It's $35 each additional person after that. Friday and Saturday night is $150 up to 5 people, $5 each additional after that. We do not ask for a financial deposit. We are actually trying to change the narrative right now when it comes to how bookings are done because there is such a concern with how predators are trying to hide within the shadows of the paranormal. Nick and I, over a year and a half ago, took a very public stance for safety in the paranormal. And so what we do now is we ask for all names be given to hold your reservation. If you need to make any changes, you have until 1 week prior to make your changes. If you make them afterwards, I'm sorry, we cannot let them go through. We do not do background checks, but if we do see a name that we know is an issue, that gives us a chance to pull the person aside, have a conversation, and let them ask them, like, how well do you know this? Due to recent events, we now have to change our policy again and say, please don't put an SOS out for the State House. You are only, if you are looking for people to join you, please let it be people that you personally know and investigate with, you've previously investigated with. If you put an SOS out asking for people to join your investigation, we will not allow the booking to go through. It sucks
Did you tell
when
him Friday's price?
Yeah, I said it's 150 for Friday and Saturday. Yeah, I mean,
I
what
gotta zone out
sucks
for a minute.
is that every rule that we have in the state house that's posted, it is posted because somebody came into the location and did something disrespectfully. So the fact that we now have to say, please don't put an SOS, don't ask for people to join your investigation, that is because that happened, and the people that ended up coming to that investigation, there ended up being an issue. So we want this to be a safe place. This is a family run location. If Nick and I are not there to check you in, it's mom. If mom's not able to check you in, then guess what? It's going to be my youngest son, John, and his older brother.
If you think we're already pit bulls in the paranormal for other people, like if something was to happen to my mother or any of 6 of our kids, I'll wear orange.
We will vote in the mugshot. Don't try it.
But yeah, we are sticklers, safety, morals, common sense in the paranormal. We are all about more, we want more people, we want more locations, but we are setting a precedent. Look, we don't want just any knucklehead in here. It's not about the money.
Right.
It is not about the money. We want to create a safe and wonderful environment for all ages, even kids, especially women, to come and enjoy themselves. So that's why, and we've got some backlash for it. Don't get me wrong. And it's understandable because nobody else has done bookings this way, so hopefully, and then maybe it doesn't, maybe other people just don't care. Like, that's fine. That's your forte, but we can control that narrative and what we want at our location, and that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Understandable.
And we make no apologies for it. We want to make sure that when you come, you are as safe as we can enable the situation to be. We leave you with our cell phone numbers. We live not even 10, 15 minutes away from the location. So if something happens, we can jet over to you to make sure that you're okay. We want you to be as safe as humanly possible, and so that's why we have the rules in place. We want you to be able, there's a lot of teams that come. We've had a lot of local teams show up and they're bringing their children. We are all about people bringing their children, and so I do want to put this out there too, because we do get asked a lot. What do we do if we want to bring a child? We ask that the child is no younger than the age of 10, that the parent has to be with them the whole time. If the parent leaves the location, they have to take the child with them, and the parent has to sign all the legal waivers for the child too.
Awesome. I know our kids, if they love paranormal investigating, they love going to different locations and stuff with us. So this will be one that we'll have to take them to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking this next year coming up, we need to book the state out.
That's what Jenny said.
Shit.
Yeah, it's worth it. I want to go back. That's for sure. Like,
I'm gonna get me a cot too.
It's a great location. It's a great location, and you will definitely experience things that you don't experience at other places.
Yeah. Are we gonna go with Jenny?
Yeah.
Sweet.
What? What about me? What? You're coming with me?
He's talking shit.
I said, are we going with Jenny? Are we booking this for next year with you, Jenny?
We could. It's fine.
What?
It's not like we're not going to be investigating a lot with each other next year at this point. Let's talk about the mysteries of the fort, a paranormal and metaphysical symposium. Tell us about it. I know it's coming up very quickly, a month and a half away.
So, Fort Wayne, Indiana, we've had some big conventions here before, and each one there was a lot of bad things that happened, and unfortunately, has put a very sour taste in the psyche of the paranormal, all the way up to your quote unquote celebrities. So we have been mulling this over, and we had the opportunity to do a different one, and we decided we didn't want to. We kind of backed out of that, and we were like, you know what, let's just do this. And my sister and my mother got on board, and this is going to be different. Again, like, this is paying a homage to the old school way of doing paranormal conventions, where the early years back in the day, it was a little underground. It was more sharing ideas, more networking, more this or that, and it wasn't a para party.
Right.
So we want to bring that back, and that is the premise behind Mysteries of the Fort. But we also wanted to emphasize a lot on the metaphysical side, because the paranormal investigators, researchers, us knuckleheads, really need to pay attention more to the metaphysical side. It could help aid us in what we do. Instead of conflicting with each other, let's bring it together. So that's where the paranormal and the metaphysical symposium came together, that part of it. I think going after next year, it's just going to be Mysteries of the Fort. It's a lot to say. So,
Yeah.
but that's really the premise behind it. And it's a 2-day event. Really, it's a 3-day event. It's a Friday night, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. But it's all about the sponsors of the event. Yeah. You know, I'm not knocking. Okay, I'm not knocking anybody. Okay, I mean, everybody does their thing. A lot of people recreate the wheel and do certain things, and there's been a lot of really good para conventions that have happened year after year after year. They sustain. Now every year there's another 100 paracons that pop up, and they don't. They're one and done because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and you know, like, we were shocked. We came up with this date, and there was only one other convention on this date, and that was New Jersey Para Unity. And I'm like, okay, well, they're going to have all the big celebrities.
Right.
It's on the East Coast. We're in the Midwest. We're not going to conflict with each other because we're not paying thousands and thousands of dollars for people to come here. No big deal. We're good to go. And then slowly but surely throughout the year, there's now 10 different conventions on November 8th. And I'm like, scratching my head, like, what the frick, man? I don't get it. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But, you know, I'll let Brie explain a little bit more what we're doing this whole weekend. But I'm excited. I'm hoping this goes off without a hitch. We've done a lot of work with this stuff, and we look forward to putting Fort Wayne back on the map in a good way as far as symposiums, paranormal conventions, whatever, however you want to put it. And regardless of what happens this year, I mean, we estimate a very good turnout. We estimate this is going to go off without a hitch. But this is going to go on. We're going to do this every year, and we want this to be a staple. We want this to be something that everybody puts on their radar every year. No different than, you know, like, I'm not saying we'll ever be like Parapsychon or Penhurst or anything like that. We'll probably never. We don't have old prison or old asylum. Okay, so we'll never be that. But if we can get to that size where it's a destination for everybody to go to once a year, you know, like Gettysburg Bash or Para Unity or something like that, we hope eventually it gets to that point. But our mindset is, regardless, we are going to push forward and make this happen.
Yeah. So and the amount of work, my God, I can spend 8 hours a day on the back end. So what we're doing is Friday night is actually going to be a Friday night mingler where people can come and hang out the night before, because we actually are able to get the vendors in Friday night from 8 to 7 for setup. And so Friday night, we actually rented out the bar and the restaurant. This is at a Holiday Inn, and a lot of people are like an Express. No, this is actually like the old school, like the OG Holiday Inn, but it's a new one. So we rented out the bar and the restaurant. we are going to have food and drinks provided. You get a plate of food. It's going to be like finger food. You get, if you drink alcohol, you get up to one alcoholic beverage or an unending pop. And then we are going to have 2 different gallery readings that are going to be done. So the first one's going to actually be done by myself and Heidi Kemper out of Detroit, Michigan. And what's interesting with this is there's no stage for us to stand on like you would see with a typical gallery reading.
Right.
The bar and restaurant is actually done in an interesting L/U shape. So we actually get the opportunity to walk the area and interact with everybody. If we want to pull a chair up and sit down because we have a message for somebody specific, we're going to be able to do that to make this more personable. It's not like I'm getting a J and it's somewhere over here on the left and maybe the center. It's like we're going to be able to zone in to where we're getting the message.
I'm seeing somebody's grandma over here. It's me. I have a grandma. It's my grandma.
You know, this makes it more intimate. It makes the reading more valid, you know, when it comes to a gallery reading. And then Sam Baltrusis is also joining us, and he's going to do one of his famous Sam-onces to round it out. Now, Saturday, doors open at 10 a.m. And we decided that not only are we trying to do something to better the paranormal community by taking this back old school to where this is learning, this is teaching, this is old school networking. This is helping the small businesses in the community have a platform for 2 days, you know, to help get their names out there. We are wanting very much so to give back to Fort Wayne. So tickets are $10 at the door. Children under the age of, I can't remember what it is, but children under a certain age are free. Veterans, because it's Veterans Day weekend, veterans and first responders are actually half off at the door. But if you bring an item for the Humane Society, which is called here, it's Humane Fort Wayne, you get $2 off your ticket. So we are taking donations at the door for Humane Fort Wayne. We are also going to be doing a 50-50 raffle. It's going to be done each day. So 2 separate days of a 50-50 raffle for the Shepherd's House. Now, the Shepherd's House here in Fort Wayne, what they do is they work specifically with homeless veterans and getting them back on their feet. So we are giving back to the veteran community here in Fort Wayne. We are also going to have a table set up in the front foyer for Lindenwood Cemetery. They are about 600 reefs away from their goal for Reefs Across America. For those who don't know what Reefs Across America is, that is being able to purchase a wreath that will go onto the grave of a veteran. So our goal is to help them make their wreath goal that weekend because they're doing the wreath laying ceremony on December 13th. Nick and I were actually just out at an event that they had at Lindenwood, and they got almost 300 wreaths for Reefs Across America. You know, Nick's stepdad was a veteran. I come from military family. I was actually a military wife myself at one point. And, you know, the military, it runs deep in our veins. And we really want to give back.
A lot of family members. My grandfather on my dad's side, he fought in World War II. My stepdad, you know, a lot of my uncles and stuff. So my great uncle. So, you know, again, not to push this narrative, but we would not be doing what we're doing right now. We would not have a lot of opportunities what we do if it wasn't for our veterans. You know, It wouldn't be for our current, you know, the people serving now. So for us, we like to honor them in every way possible. And, you know, so having this opportunity to help the Shepherd's House is just tremendous. And, you know, as far as like, you know, Saturday is more paranormal.
Yeah, so Saturday is going to be more paranormal. We're actually going to do a raffle on Saturday and then a raffle on Sunday. So each year the event is going to have a raffle that is going to financially benefit a historically haunted location that is in financial need to help with repairs, restoration, and preservation. This year, on Saturday, real quick, going back to the panels, it's really important to us that people don't just feel like they're being spoken to or talked at, told how they're being done, how you're doing it all wrong. This is how you're supposed to do it. We want to make this interactive where people are able to ask questions. The speakers have a certain amount of time where they can talk about their background. They can converse among themselves, and then it's going to open up to a mic where we're going to have a moderator. People in the audience are able to ask questions. So this year, our 5 panels that we're going to have one that's going to focus on authors, and it's actually horror and paranormal authors. We even have an author who specializes within the occult. We are going to do equipment builders. So our beloved Jeff Fent is actually going to be on there, along with Brad Martin, who makes the equipment. He volunteers out of Whispers Estate, along with Austin Maynard. We are going to have one for mediums, showing the different levels of mediums and how not every medium is exactly the same. We might have the same gifts, but we're gifted differently, We're also going to be highlighting location owners. So we're actually going to have Ashmore Estates. So Robin and Ashley will be out. We're going to have Rose Hotel with the amazing siblings, Mike and Crystal. We're going to have the Haunted Beale Manor, which they actually just acquired the Haunted Ridge School as well. So we're going to have Carlo on there, and the Ross House out of Bel Air, Ohio, with our paranormal mama, Cindy Kuhn. And then rounding it out, something that we're really excited for is we're going to each year, this panel will stay the same. We are going to highlight the first responders that are making a positive difference in the paranormal community, and also in real life. So we actually have Pete Grist, who is actually a school safety officer, and Robin Terry, who has been an EMS officer for over 20 plus years. Now,
then Sunday is all metaphysical. You're going to have 5 different classes catered to different things in the metaphysical, from Reiki to energy healing to I don't remember them all because this is more my sister sets that side up. But,
I don't know. Like, I know one word is Hawaiian when I thought it was Native American. That's all I know.
Oh, yeah. So again, giving back, and then Saturday night will be a ghost hunt at an amazing location, All Glaze Village. If you guys know what Billy Creek Village is, this is All Glaze Village is kind of the same, but this is one's in Ohio.
Ohio's version, and
it's way bigger than Billy Creek, and it is extremely haunted. It's run by the Underground Paranormal Network with Austin Maynard and Mike and the Creepy Cincinnati Forensics and a bunch of different other like-minded people. So blessed for them to offer All Glaze Village to us that night. So, and then a lot of the speakers will be stationed at All Glaze at different buildings, so you will get to interact with some of these the speakers and special guests during this investigation.
As the group awesome. Through, you'll get a chance to interact and investigate with the different speakers. I know right now we do have, I think, 6 on board. I'm waiting for a couple more to get back with me, but we have the Realm of Darkness crew with Ashley, Thomas, and Nate.
Fabulous people.
Amazing.
They're amazing people.
I always say they're amazing humans or amazing souls.
Yeah. Right. So, we're also going to have Sam Beltrusis and Heidi Kemper. They're going to be in a location together. We're going to have 2 equipment builders. We're going to have Jeff Fent in a building, along with Mike I always mispronounce his last name. Schwanky, who is an equipment builder as well. So they're going to have some of their equipment set up, so you'll be able to interact, see what a Fent box is, get a better understanding of a Fent box, and see how Mike has thought outside of the box.
Maybe we can borrow one of 10 Fent boxes Jenny owns.
Yeah, maybe.
I only own 2. 2.
It's 2 more than me.
I'll have 3 next year.
I have 0.
Actually, so what's really cool though is, like, we actually have a Fent box. It's a Fent / Terry Long. It's going to be the 4th one ever made. He is making a coffin box that's going up in our raffle. Now this year, The location that we are raising money for with the raffle is the State House, only because we desperately need a new roof. It literally rains inside in a couple of rooms. So,
but we will ask. We will ask in probably January for people to recommend locations.
yeah, we're actually going to have the public's input, and we are going to have them nominate locations and do a voting system. So that way next year, it's going, like, this is going to be the public is going to get to choose
So
what location.
Like if Sanctums of Souls, they needed desperate repairs and they end up coming in as the nominee, then all that money raised from the raffle in 2026 would go to that property to help them with their repairs. It doesn't matter what property it is. It could be the biggest property. It could be the smallest property. We want to pay it forward to, you know, those, because I understand how hard it is to run a location, to maintain it, all the money that goes into it and everything else. So we get it, and we want to give back to a location owner every year from here on out. Every year will be a different location. You know, it could be, you know, it could be the Rose Hotel one year. It could be, I don't know.
I mean, somebody can nominate Penhurst if they want.
If it was Penhurst, I mean, it doesn't really matter.
This all going to be, we are going to be making it. I mean, this year, yeah, we did choose our own location. I know some people might be like, well, that's kind of crappy, but it's not, because it's going to a location that you guys utilize. And we want to make sure that it's a location that you guys can continue to utilize. You know, and it's unfortunately, being a location operator, we have to look at it that way.
Right.
But we want to help the community in every way that we can. And if we're able to pay back to more locations, since this is going to be an annual event, that's our heart. We, you know, Nick and I have gone to locations and volunteered and helped with restorations. And, you know, we got to talking about it. And I was like, what if we can literally put our money where our mouth is and be able to write a check and say, look, we know you need $5,000 for help with foundational issues. We did a raffle. Guess what? We got $8,000. So you got $5,000 for your foundation, $3,000 for anything else that you were needing help with financially.
That's amazing.
But I will say there are certain locations that we will not because they are questionable owners. So
Right.
again, it goes back to safety, common sense, and morals.
Absolutely. So where can people find out more information about the vet, the State House, getting in contact with you or Brie?
Your book, where to get your book, how much?
Yeah, so mysteriesofthefort.com is an excellent website. Brie has busted her butt with the help of our friend Mark Bolden, put this website together. Mysteries of the Fort, you can get anything and everything you need in the surrounding areas for Mysteries of the Fort there, mysteriesofthefort.com. Now, as far as the State House, if you want to book it, go to the Facebook page, the State House, and message through there, and you can get your reservation booked through there. As far as my book, if you see me out and about, you can get a copy at the State House. You see me at conventions. It is available on Amazon. Just search my name or Paranormal Legacy and Ugly Truth, and that's where you can get that. As far as booking readings, you can message Brie directly or go to her new page, Brie Self-Help Psychic Medium. But before you let us go,
you actually added this in one of your videos.
We want to bring up something that this is something we're working on, that we hope to bring this to every venue across the country, and it's called the Empowered Transcendence.
Oh, yes. Hold on. Let me hold that up. I had that. Hold on. I have the photos. Hold on. I was going to touch on it. I totally forgot. This.
Yes, so this is the event we're doing at the Ross House at our very, very dear friend. We love this woman with all our heart, Cindy Kuhn.
She's our paranormal mama.
This will be at the Ross House. It is two nights. Friday night is back to basics, and this is old school investigating, baby. Breaking out the cassette recorders, divination tools, stuff like that. No flashy lights whatsoever. We're going old school.
No REM pods.
And then Saturday night. So Brie and I, we've been wanting to come up with something that is completely different. And I have an exponential knowledge of understanding spiritual side and the spiritual side in yourself and understanding spirits and different aspects of life. And I didn't know how to bring it. And Brie, with her ability to communicate from spirit and readings, it's like, okay, how do we put these two together? How do we come up with something that we both love to do and we can offer it to somebody in one night? And that's where this comes into. So this is like a presentation / show where the first part of it is I will be talking on a different topic that night, whether, it be spirits in your house, or how do you get spiritual connection, or understanding spirit, anything in that aspect.
Right.
While I'm doing that, so, and look, this is out in public knowledge. So we've been talking about this for a while. So if you see somebody like doing it this way, like you got that from Brie. Anyway, so while I'm doing my lecture / question thing, whatever you want to call it, Brie takes an empty notebook that she shows the crowd, and she's going to jot notes throughout this whole thing, whatever she gets from spirit. And then we'll transition into Brie. Brie comes out. She starts telling what she gets in the notebook, and then it goes into a gallery reading, and Brie does her kick-ass shit.
And we've already done this once before.
We have.
And everything that came through, somebody in the audience was like, that's me. And they gave exactly, like, it wasn't just like, oh, that's me. Like one of them was, I kept getting cabinets. Check your cabinets. You're moving. Be careful with what's in your cabinets. And come to find out, they had moved that morning and something had happened with the stuff in the cabinets.
This first one we did is probably going to be the most difficult one we could ever attack or imagine, because this was a private event for a company. So all these employees came to this presentation / gallery reading, but none of these people were in the paranormal. None of them.
Oh, wow.
So it's not like you fully had an understanding.
Normally you're talking to like-minded people and you get a conversation going, it flows, ebbs and flows, this or that. It was extremely difficult. And for us to power through that, and then after that night, getting them to come back and talk about their experience and how they experienced that evening and what they took out of it, and everything Brie said in her gallery reading, where it was so spot on.
Like, there's one woman, the very last thing I got, I was getting ready to read it in my book, and Spirit told me, wait, not yet. So I handed off my book to Nick. I closed it. I left the pen where in the last page, it was earmarked. I handed it off, and I was told, get up and walk around. So I got up, and I was told to walk towards the person, though, that what I had written was for. So I walked over to her, and I asked her a question, and she sheepishly answered yes. And I said, okay. And I described a room to her down to the paint color, but it was done in it was like I was seeing the room with the lights off. I said, so all I can see is the room is green. I don't know the shade of green. And there's an antique mirror on the wall, and it's like a bathroom because I see you washing your hands and you keep getting jump scared. She was like, oh my God, you described my bathroom that I had when I lived in Indianapolis 10 years ago. Now, this woman has since come to me and she keeps booking readings, but she's admittedly told me, you are so accurate and you scare me, and she keeps canceling last minute. And then she'll turn around and reschedule.
Wow.
This is something we really, I mean, obviously we're embarked in so many different things, but this is something we really, really want to get off the ground. We really want to take this to like theaters across the country.
Well, and not just theaters. We also want to do this in locations as well, where there's enough room that we could have a decent crowd, because we want to help raise money for the locations.
Right.
So,
like your neck of the woods, like Broadhead. I mean, it'd be a perfect venue. They have the huge gymnasium and stuff like that. I mean, not to say we would do one abroad. Maybe we would eventually down the road. But I'm just saying in general, like having a space like that, you know,
where we can also give back, because it's like we want to help people, we want to teach, because there's a lot of people that are coming into the paranormal now that, let's be honest, their experience with paranormal is Sam and Colby. It's
Right. Elton and Mike Rife.
Matt Rife, you know? And so it's like, you know, the twin hauntings, like they're seeing paranormal in the scare tactics of editing. They're not seeing, you know, so it's like their vision of spirit is slightly skewed. They don't have a full understanding. So it's like we want to teach people so that way they have a better understanding of what they're dealing with. That way there's less people that do end up with attachments. There's less people that do end up, Lord forbid, with a negative encounter with a spirit. And then, you know, they're having that whole repercussion in that downward spiral. You know, so it's like we want to be preventative with what we're offering and helpful. It's not like we know better and we're trying to say this is how you do it. You know, these are going to be interactive conversations as well at times where people are able to ask questions, you know, thought-provoking.
Empower the people, baby. Empower the people. Empower yourself.
That is amazing. Well, if you ever get up this way with it, I will definitely get there. But
so right now with the Ross House, we've got 10 tickets each night because it is a smaller location.
Yep.
Half the proceeds are going back to Cindy's to help her with any repairs that she needs to do or anything that she needs to continue, because she is actually repairing the home right now. It used to be one of those locations where where you get locked in a room, like
escape room.
It was an escape room.
Oh, okay.
Is what it was, and that's what she had it as. And so she's slowly trying to convert this from that back into a 1940s home. And, you know, like there's a lot of things that have to be done. And so, you know, we want to do this to help her and give back to her. She's got an amazing location. It is newer. And, you know, we want to help broadcast this for her.
And you can see on the posters that our besties, Brent and Mandy Fair,
amazing people,
graciously given us some equipment to raffle off that night. So whoever attends, one lucky winner of each will walk away with either a spirit board or a golf pot. So
that's amazing.
That's awesome.
I love those two. Those two are amazing.
They're beautiful people.
They are definitely amazing people. Hold on one sec. Oh, my mom's printing something in the printer's not the stuff in front of the printer. But yes, if you guys are in Ohio, go check this event out. Get your tickets because it will be amazing. I wish I could be there, but I will be in.
And we're doing an investigation after the whole Empowered Transcendence too. So it's like, you know, we're going to do the Empowered Transcendence. There'll be the gallery reading. And then from there, we'll segue into an actual investigation Saturday night where there are flashy lights.
Yeah. But yes, you guys, if you're in Ohio, go get your tickets for these two great events. I've never been to the Ross House yet. That is a location I have not been to yet. I need to go out and check it out. But next year I will be there. But I just had a brain for it. It's late. But you guys get a reading from Brie, get Nick's book, go check out the State House because it will not disappoint you.
Hi.
Is there a kitty?
This is the baby.
There's a baby.
Oh.
I don't think that one came out when I was at your house.
No, he hides when people show up.
Yeah, that one's the one that hid. Alicia has a kitty too. My daughter's
kitty.
Yeah, she's all
she's like, Mommy, pet me. But thank you guys for coming on tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, and check out Brie's TikTok lives on Facebook and TikTok Wednesday nights. What time is it? Like 8
8
p.m. Eastern?
Yep, 8 p.m. Eastern.
You never know what she's gonna say.
Yeah, you never know. And when the glasses come off, you know it's serious.
Oh yeah.
Nice to see you.
It's always the question of how far into the live will she go before she takes the glasses off.
Or says the F word.
Or say the F
Oh,
word.
that's within 30 seconds. I'm like, what's up? How you fucking doing?
Or get kicked off the TikTok live and like.
Hey, I haven't been kicked off TikTok yet, but I have had my FB live shut down.
Yes, you have. Yep.
Because I called out. And you know the person that I called out that night? I'm actually probably going to discuss that this Wednesday. I'm waiting for a phone call.
Ooh.
All right.
So y'all need to listen, watch it on Wednesday to see who she calls out because it always gets interesting.
Let's just put it this way. This person has an arrest warrant out for them and has assaulted adults and children and leads a team and has a team page that has over 30,000 followers on Facebook.
Yay, paranormal.
Wow.
Holy shit.
So this is a this is a serious situation. He's actually come after a couple of women in the paranormal, threatening them.
Oh wow.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You know, I would say this. A lot of people hear this and they're like, oh, and then they go on about their business.
Right.
Till it happens to somebody close to you, either yourself, you know, one of your kids, your siblings, your spouse, this or that. Then you're involved and you want to hit it head on. It's about supporting everybody else and making sure everybody else is safe. And, it's, you know, it's, as Brie would say, that's the hill we'll die on.
Right. No, we're not guessing who it is.
I will actually name drop this person on Wednesday.
On Wednesday. You have to listen to her live on Wednesday.
On Wednesday.
Name
Live
dropping
Wednesday, you will get the name. In fact, I mean, the police records are public and list all of the things. Let's put it this way: the person is actually in trouble for making terroristic threats, and I believe that was on a child.
Oh wow.
On a minor.
What the hell?
Holy shit.
Yeah, and they've got a Facebook following of over 30,000. So this is an issue that needs to be addressed, in my opinion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I will be tuning in on Wednesday. Everyone else should be tuning in on Wednesday, Facebook or TikTok. So find Brie on either one and watch it on Wednesday so we can all be informed and be protected. Let's just say that. Love you, Brie. Happy birthday.
Love you. Thank you.
Happy birthday again, Brie.
Love you, Nick.
Love you too. Thank you guys.
Have a great
Thanks
night.
for coming on, you guys.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yes, and I will see you guys after the new year. Ugh. It feels so long, so long away, you know. But you never know. I might show up at the state house during the winter time. Who knows?
Hey, we do have heat.
Yeah, we do.
You do have heat.
Yep,
You do
we've got
heat.
heat. We've got AC. We've got all the amenities.
Maybe I'll restock you with Bill's nuts if I can get Bill to give me nuts.
That was not right.
when I went to the state house,
It's not right.
Bill's nuts, and I'm like, "Brie, Nick, you need Bill's nuts?"
We had a back alley deal selling Bill's nuts.
Yeah, literally the back alley deal.
Literally. Because if you work at the state house, you come in off the back alley.
So we had back alley happenings. So it was fine. It was all for good stuff. So thank you again, you guys.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
Bye.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
So that was Brie and Nick. So please go out and support the State House, the Mysteries of the Fort event, and there are 2 other great events. Go get Nick's book a session with Brie. I know I won one at ISS, so I have to go and book it, but that will happen at the end of next month because I am gone for almost 2 weeks in October. So on that, on the 8th and 9th, you will see a live investigation from Virginia City, which I'm super excited about. The 8th, you'll see a live investigation from the Washoe Club. And the 9th, you will see a live investigation on this page from the Mackay, I think that's how you say it, mansion in Virginia City. Super excited. These 2 locations are extremely haunted. Multiple shows have been at them. So I'm super excited to head to Virginia City a week from Tuesday. But I will go live throughout the whole entire trip. I will try to go live from Alcatraz. I will try to go live from the Winchester Mystery House, and wherever else I end up during that week. And then you might see lives from Scarefest the following weekend. So there's a lot coming up. But next Sunday, we have Audrey and Bella, who are paranormal YouTubers and TikTokers. I'm super excited to have them on. And then Alicia will have Franny of Supernatural Eye and War Party Paranormal on the show. And then the following Sunday, Alicia will have our two good friends, Ed Levine and Michael Aslep. Alslep. However you say his last name. 2 great friends of ours, paranormal investigators out of Illinois and Wisconsin. So I'm super excited for those 2 shows. I will be in the chat. But we have some great guests coming up. We only have, I think we have like 8 weeks left until the end of season, whatever we're on for Unturned Pages. We are going to take the last 2 weeks of December and the first 2 weeks of January off as a recouping period. But we will be back in January with a killer guest, which I have not announced. And I haven't even told Alicia yet about who it is. But I'm super excited. So next year will be bigger and better. So y'all have a great night. And we will see you back here next Sunday.
Bye, guys.